Hello everyone! Today we are gonna be reacting to some out of control bridezillas. Let's get into it.
Okay, story time about the worst bridezilla experience I've ever had as a bridal makeup artist. Okay, so it was this bride's wedding morning. We'd already had a trial. We'd already met once.
That's always good to have a
and been
trial.
in contact for a little while. So I just expected everything to go really smoothly. Got there at 7 a.m. and I was working till like 2:30 or something like that, doing everyone's hair and makeup. Everything was absolutely fine until the very last minute.
Oh, no.
So I finished the bride and I was packing up my stuff, getting ready to leave. And I hear her and her sister having the biggest argument.
You don't want to argue in your wedding day.
And I'm talking like
That's bad.
absolute screaming match. Not just like a little disagreement, a screaming match. They're screaming at each other. I'm packing up my stuff. I'm literally just about to leave. And the bride comes in.
No.
Her makeup is fucked. Like her makeup is just completely ruined. Comes up to me, she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, like I've ruined my makeup." And I was like, okay. And I'm like, look, that's fine, I will fix it.
Oh,
obviously,
she was
I
nice.
can't let you walk down the aisle like this. Like I'm talking like
She didn't need to do
streams
that.
of tears like going down here as well. I was like, I cannot let you walk down the aisle like this. Don't worry about it, I've got you. And she was like, "Oh, thank you so much, like, you know, I'll pay you extra, blah blah blah." So I had to redo her makeup and her
wow,
sister's
so
makeup,
sister's
even though her
makeup
sister
too.
started the argument in the first place.
God.
Like, if that was my sister, I swear I would have like. So I ended up staying an extra like hour and a half to fix both of their makeups. I had to completely redo it. There was no saving it at all. By the time I left, I was absolutely freaking starving. It was like 4 p.m. or something like that, and I'd been there since 7. Anyway, she was like, "Thank you so much, like let me know your payment details, I'll send you extra." And I'm like, amazing. I went home and I sent her a invoice, and the invoice was not even for 2 full makeups. It was for 2 like 3/4 price of a makeup. So I sent it to her and poof, no response. She has fallen off the face of the earth. And then she ghosts me. She doesn't end up paying the extra. You know, I gave her the benefit of the doubt and I was like, oh, you know, maybe funds are tight because it's Christmas or whatever. So I didn't message her again until January. And then again in February, no response. And by this point, it had been like 3 or 4 months since she's gotten married and she just never replied to me. I just had to cut my losses at this bride, which was such a shame, because we got along really well. If I was a bride, I just know that I wouldn't want to be looking back at my wedding pictures and like feeling
No, you're scamming
and, like,
someone, right?
And being like, oh, that makeup was nice. I should have paid my makeup artist and not been a dog.
Yeah, this is not good. I don't like this because, like, first everything looked fine. Like everything seems fine. Like, I don't know why, like, that argument started. First of all, that's, like, the weirdest thing. I don't think anyone wants to argue on their wedding day. So, like, it seems like the sister started the argument. Can you not do that? Can we not argue in our wedding days? Because, no, that's, like, stress that you don't need to deal on that day. You can freaking have the argument the next day, okay? Like, not on the wedding day, especially not after your makeup. Oh my god. I can only imagine how intense that fight was because bridal makeup is supposed to hold on to your face so well. It's not supposed to budge that much, so they probably were like at it, like really aggressively, for the makeup to have gotten ruined like that. The fact that she offered to redo both of their makeup and didn't even charge full price, that was very nice of that makeup artist. Very nice of her. Once again, being without food until 4, that's terrible. From 7 a.m. to 4, that is incredible terrible for your body. So not only did she put her health like in jeopardy that day for that bride and for that sister to be able to give them the best makeup that they could on that day, even though the makeup getting ruined was not her fault is it's so bad. And then you don't pay your makeup artist. Yikes. Because like it came from the bride. The bride said, oh, I'll pay you extra. Like, why would you say that if you're not gonna do it? Like, that is really weird. That's really scammy. Yeah, that's not good. This Bridezilla bridesmaid story is going to shake you to your absolute core, and I am ready. My core is ready for this.
This Bridezilla bridesmaid story is going to shake you to your absolute core. When you hear what read today, you are going to throw up in your mouth.
I hope not on camera.
Now, I'm getting married in October.
Me too!
And what do brides do? They band together in Facebook groups and help sell each other shit.
What's that?
So there is a New Jersey bride group that I'm part of on Facebook, and everybody gives tips and tricks and vendors and all that stuff on there. And for the most part, it can be pretty positive. There is some toxicity in there. I try to stay away from it.
Brides.
Judgment
Gotcha.
about how much money you're supposed to spend on this and that and whatever. This story literally rocked my world. So basically, there was a girl who posted on there anonymously, because you can post anonymous. And she said, I was a bridesmaid in my very close friend's wedding. I was recently diagnosed with cancer and I've been undergoing chemo. Sometimes the chemo affects me so bad that I have a hard time getting out of bed. So I respectfully reached out to the bride to step down as a bridesmaid because I didn't want to hinder her big day. That seems like a perfectly normal thing to do.
It does, absolutely.
To me. So she tells the bride, you can keep all of the money for the shower, for the bachelorette party, for the hair and makeup, for my dress. Every penny I've contributed, you can keep, because I don't want you to have to worry about money this close to your wedding. But I just
really
don't
nice
feel comfortable. I can't. I'm just not myself. Again, probably the most courageous and respectful thing I've ever heard of a human being doing. So what does the bride say?
I'm terrified.
She doesn't respond, goes on Instagram, and crops this girl out of every photo that she's in. Every picture they have together is taken down, and every photo that she's in, she crops her and the girl's sister out. This poor woman goes, did I do the wrong thing by stepping down? You should see the fucking comments, dude. You should see the comments. People are in the comments like, I wish you didn't post this anonymously so we could find out who this is. Like, what kind of disgusting human being?
I have chills. I legitimately have chills,
anything,
guys.
But what kind of disgusting human being gets angry with someone for stepping down from their wedding because they have cancer? I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around this. And then to go a step further, not respond, and then remove all evidence of this person existing in your life because they made the courageous decision to step down. Do you know how hard it probably was for that person? I have a friend who thought about stepping down just because of her financial obligations and not being able to afford to be in the wedding. And she was brave enough to come to me and say, hey, I don't want to take away from your day, but I don't know if I can contribute X, Y, and Z. And this person has been my best friend since preschool, so what did I say to her? Don't worry about it, I got you. I can't believe people act like this.
Wow. She was not joking when she said we're gonna get shook to the core. Oh my god. I also have a hard time wrapping my head around people that are this selfish. Like, I can understand that the wedding, like brides, like it's their special day. You probably have been waiting this for your whole life. You want all of your close friends next to you. But this is what makes it even more disgusting to me. It's the fact that this poor girl probably had, like, she seems like she would give everything to be able to be the bridesmaid. Like, she would do it, but it's not physically possible to her because she is sick with cancer. Like, if my best friend was sick with cancer, I would do everything to make her feel good. I would not delete her from all my freaking photos because she's not feeling her best and she's working on recovering, and just treat her like trash. What is wrong with these people? Oh my god. Like, this girl was probably there for her whole life. her whole freaking life supporting this bride. And the moment that she just literally asks to step down, because the bridesmaid's duty, like, I am not too into that culture, guys, because the bridesmaid is a whole thing that's more common in the US, I believe. Here in Portugal, I chose to have bridesmaids, but they don't really have a whole lot of duties and tasks because our wedding is gonna be really different. We are like half of our bridesmaids are from the US, the other half are from Portugal. It's really hard to get everyone together, so it's a really different dynamic. But I know that in the US, a bridesmaid duty is like very intense when it comes to what you have to do, what you have to contribute financially. And I can't even proceed to imagine how you could ask for your friend that's trying to recover from cancer, that's not feeling great. Like, I mean, you don't even ask. That's the thing that it's, oh my God. She didn't even ask. That's right. She didn't even ask because she ignored her. And then she just deleted the photos. I can't with this. I can't even process this. I must say this is probably the worst, most disgusting Bridezilla story I've ever heard. I hate this. And you know what? I hope karma gets this Bridezilla one day because this is absolutely terrible.
One of the most asked questions that I get as a wedding photographer from people who are not in the wedding industry is if I have ever had any bridezillas. I market to a specific type of person, so I don't really have any bridezillas.
Oh, that's great.
That is great. One of my very early on wedding days, and the bride and groom were wonderful. They were great, but it was the groom's grandmother and mother that were an issue. So apparently the groom's grandma had been doing photography on the side, and listen, she wasn't like super old. She was probably like upper 60s, maybe early 70s, and she had been doing photography and I guess taking like family photos, senior photos, all of that stuff, and she took their engagement photos too. Apparently she was super pissed that they did not ask her to photograph the wedding. I remember getting to the church.
Okay, I need to pause this a little bit here. My best friend did our engagement photo shoots. I would not even think of asking her to be the wedding photographer because I asked her to be my maid of honor. So of course I wouldn't want to give her the duty of being the photographer and spending the whole day working and not enjoying the actual wedding. So I have a hard time understanding why did this grandma get so offended that she didn't ask to be the photographer, because most likely the bride and the groom just legitimately wanted her to enjoy the day without having to work on their special day, because being behind the camera you don't get to enjoy the day as if you were present there. So why would someone be just so offended by this? I have a hard time puzzling the pieces here. But let's continue.
Church right away in the morning, and the bride and groom were not there yet. They were still getting ready at a salon or wherever they were at, and I remember someone walking around, and my husband was second shooting with me, and someone was walking around like taking photos of the church and like details, and I was like, who else is here? Like, did they hire someone else? I'm so confused. So we went up and talked to grandma. Didn't know it was grandma at the time, and she actually would not give me the wedding rings because she was like, you're gonna lose them if I give them to you. She also told me that she was gonna be standing at the front of the aisle when the bride was walking down, and there was nothing I could do about it. There were countless times throughout the day where she would step in front of my camera intentionally just so I couldn't get the shot, so she could. And I don't think I ever really got a shot of her without a camera in her hand, which, you think about it, like looking back on these memories, like she's just gonna have a camera in her hands or a camera up to her eye.
That's gonna be really
the entire
bizarre.
Wedding gallery. I guess the mother also was doing photography and wanted to help out and be the second shooter. So they were both pretty upset with the bride that they hired me instead of asking them to shoot the wedding day. My husband's charmer, so he actually kind of took care of them throughout the day. I avoided as much as possible because they were being super passive aggressive towards me. And by the end of the night, I had to take some breaks to like just step outside and get away from everything because I was getting so frustrated. I remember feeling I've never felt more unwelcome at a wedding than that one. So yeah, no real bridezillas, but that's probably my top story of someone with that type of attitude that I've had to deal with.
This is such a bizarre story. A grandmazilla and a momzilla. Like, I feel like that's really disrespectful to your children, too. It's their special day. They specifically did not ask you to be their photographers, and you're, once again, they paid now for these photographers. They paid for them. And now the pictures are gonna look kinda odd because mom and grandma are in all of the pictures holding cameras. That's not aesthetically pleasing. That's just bizarre. As a grandma and a mother of a bride or a groom, throughout the day you're gonna be like responsible for a lot of things. I feel like greeting guests, like mingling, because they're usually one of the people that have the common knowledge of the guests, right? So I feel especially mothers and grandmas of brides and grooms have like a intense position in the wedding day. So yet again, I don't think this bride and groom would not ask them just to spite them or anything, but because it's already a full day with already a lot of things to deal with. So they wouldn't want to take them for experience and live the wedding and not having to worry, oh, is this the right angle? Oh, is this a perfect? That's why we have photographers. Yay! Because you want your family to be present there. This is such a bizarre thing. I was not expecting to see something like this together in the Bridezillas. That is a very interesting story.
I had a client ask for a refund yesterday. So here is my story time about this client. A little backstory if you guys didn't know. Hi, I'm Julie. I'm a South Florida makeup artist and esthetician, and I've been doing this for 6 years, and this has never happened to me. So these girls show up 15 minutes late already. So that already, puts a bad taste in my mouth, but you know what? Things happen. Then the first girl that I'm gonna do goes to the bathroom. So by the time that she sits in my chair, we're starting around 20 minutes late. They didn't send any inspo pictures like we asked. So when she was showing them to me, they were so event glam makeup, and they booked a soft glam makeup appointment, but we only had an hour each. But remember, they came late. So I start doing her makeup, and she's loving it. She's like, oh my god, this is so good. Can I take a picture of what you're using? Oh, this and that, it looks great. I'm like, yeah, she's loving it. I'm working really fast because I want to finish on time. But then she's on her phone with her work, which I understand. I don't mind if my clients are on their phone, but she's like this, moving around, and I'm doing her winged liner. So I'm like, I need you to look in a certain direction. That's not good. I don't mind if you're on the phone, but please look this direction and chin up. And she kept going like this. I was like, and listen to me, and listen. I'm like, I'm gonna mess up your makeup, lady. And mind you, we don't have that much time, so I need you to cooperate. So I finish her makeup, it looks a bomb. She's like, oh my god, can I take a picture of the products that you used? Yada yada. I'm like, sure, no problem. Start the other girl, she wants full glam again. I'm like, alright, and we literally have 30 minutes, so let's do this. So
full glam on a time crunch.
And she knows a little bit more about makeup, so she was telling me what she wanted. And we were talking products, like she was liking how everything was looking. And then all of a sudden, the other girl was like, this lady, she didn't do a good job at something else, cleaning the house. And the other girl goes, well, did you pay her? And she's like, no. I'm like, so I got a pit in my stomach. So I was like, let me not judge. Maybe I'm overthinking. I'm like, oh my god, are they not gonna pay? So I finished the makeup at 5:03, and I agree, it could have been a little bit smokier, but again, they didn't schedule the right appointment. Number one, didn't send us inspo pics when they booked the appointment.
Wow.
So we couldn't adjust the appointment, and they came late. But if I show you guys the before and after, you'll be like, that looks good. So anyways, she's like, I love it.
I wish we could see them.
And I always try to make my customers feel very welcomed and very at ease if they don't like anything. Like I literally say, hey, I don't get offended. Please let me know if you don't like something. We could change it. We could work on it. Like, please let me know. Don't be shy. And, sometimes I'll crack a little joke so that they feel comfortable enough to tell me if they want something different. So I'm thinking they left happy because they were like, oh my god, this and that. We're going to go out now. And she tipped me $40 on the card. And I was like, all right. Not even 10 minutes later, She texts my boss asking
and a $40 tip is a very good tip. So I would assume, yes, they were very pleased with the makeup.
A refund. A refund. And basically saying that her and her friend were dissatisfied with the service. Girl, you guys took pictures of products that I was using. You were telling me that you liked it in between the appointments, and then you joked about not paying somebody else? No. So, of course, I'm livid. I'm like, what the heck? This has never happened to me. But I'm like, just, you outed yourself by joking about not paying somebody else.
Exactly.
I mean, and why would you tip $40 if you were dissatisfied with the service? Number one. Number two, you were late. Number three, you didn't send inspo pics. Like, come on, girlfriend. And the same look is not going to look the same on everybody. If you ask for the same hair as somebody, you have different hair and different hair texture and color, and your hair takes differently. Like, the makeup is not going to look the same. I wish I could show you guys the before and after. You guys would be
Me
like,
too.
This lady is crazy. So we sent them a message back, and of course they didn't respond. That was my day yesterday, and honestly, we're upset about it, but I know and I am confident in my work. I know that these girls probably just do this all the time, so I can't be too upset.
Absolutely.
So yeah, this is my life, but honestly, I have way more good experiences than bad experiences. This has never happened to me before. So I'm lucky in the 6 years that I haven't had this happen to me, but yeah. People are rude, people are mean, people take advantage. It sucks.
This is the thing that I'm catching from this video, is that because she even heard on the phone that they had the same problem with the refund thing, I have the feeling that when it comes to makeup artists, these people, what they do is that they go to the makeup artists, they try to see all the little steps to basically get almost like a free little workshop on how to do their makeup and what products to use, just so then they ask for the refund. I do not believe makeup is refundable, because you did get the service done, you didn't complain when it was happening, so you can't ask for the refund. You could, like, if you didn't say anything, you could say at the end, look, I'm not satisfied with this, but you didn't say that. You gave a $40 tip on your makeup. You were saying that you loved it, you were taking pictures of everything. It doesn't add up. This seems like they were completely scamming. This is terrible. Like, I don't like this sort of behavior at all. I don't like people taking advantage of other people, especially of their hard work. And makeup products are very expensive, so just the fact that she's using probably like expensive foundation, expensive blush, bronzer, everything on her face, she also already used a certain amount of money. That's why certain things are non-refundable. I believe what I would recommend in these circumstances would be just like a freaking waiver or something, like we do not accept refunds, or somewhere saying I do not accept refunds. Like, you can't accept refunds on this. Like, you can't do it. Like, there's a minimum of things that people are gonna use on you that makes them be a certain price. So they're out here scamming. And that is all for today's Bridezilla stories, guys. I cannot believe we just heard this insanity. Oh my god. But if you did like this video, you might enjoy this one too. As always, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye bye, guys.